All right, guys. Knicks did get it to within 6 with a minute to go in the third quarter after really struggling. They were down by as much as 19. I mentioned the very slow start, but they could not get any closer than 6 the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, the way the game started, you could just see that the Knicks were climbing uphill this whole game, and you could look at it, and some people might look at it as a schedule loss when you consider the Pelicans haven't played since Wednesday. This is only their second game. The Knicks, third game in 4 nights in a back-to-back, the first of the season, and they looked it. One team had fresh legs and was getting after in their home opener, and another team was really struggling to make a shot. Turnovers, another story, a big story now in 2 nights in a row, Wally, and that's something also to watch with this team, which last year was very good at not turning the ball over.
Third game in 4 nights is a lot. That was an emotional game against Boston the first game. Then you get a good win against Atlanta. But you see the cracks in the Knicks right now. Coming off the preseason, they did not have a good preseason. They look like they had a lot of work to do. This team is still a work in progress, I think. They need to get Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle playing at the level they know they're capable of playing. You're getting a ton from R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett looks like the most prepared guy coming out of the preseason, ready to go come the regular season. I think all the other guys have to really catch up to his play. Right now, he's leading by example. He's leading the Knicks with his play, but they're not going to win a lot of games unless Brunson and Randle get going.
So Brunson, 4 for 14.
Yep.
Randle, 4 for 15.
There you go.
Similar to what happened against Boston.
Exactly.
Right.
And you're not going to be able to overcome that every single night. Quickly, obviously, stepped up against Boston. But this Pelicans team is really, they're good. They're talented. They're young. They're loaded with top 2. Like, Ingram was number 2 pick in the draft. Zion, number 1 pick in the draft. C.J. McCollum is a perennial 20-point-per-game scorer. Valanciunas was number 3 in the draft, I think. So they have a lot of talent on their starting 5, especially. And they were ready to play at home. And the Knicks, they better get it together soon. And this schedule has been brutal. Let me just say, I've never seen any type of crazier schedule to start a season than what the Knicks are dealing with.
And they got a back-to-back against Cleveland coming up here next.
Right, you think about it.
And you have 2 days off in Cleveland. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're still on the road for 2 days, and then you got a back-to-back home and home. It's just very odd scheduling.
Yeah, you have the back-to-back with Cleveland, a home and home. And then who do you face on Friday?
At Milwaukee.
It's like, like we said it, the first 10 games were going to be tough. The minute the schedule came out, you looked at it and you thought, wow, like this is a challenge to this team. They better be ready to start the season. And you pointed out, like you can see it, that Randle, 8 turnovers tonight, trying to find his game. Jalen Brunson had a great night last night, but tonight couldn't make a shot. So those guys have got to find their games, and the Knicks have got to find their game in the midst of playing some of the best in the East.
Zion Williamson is healthy. We all know about his strength, but when you watch him tonight, he's so athletic, Wally. It's not just the strength. It's just the bounce, the quickness.
The quickness. It's
amazing.
It's the combination of the strength and the quick movements and the speed that he does them at. I mean, he just absolutely is. I mean, it's 6'6", 285 pounds, and he's built like an absolute brick.
By the way, listed at 285.
Yeah, he's built like an absolute brick. But look at how fast he is. I mean, Julius Randle is 6'9", so he's got 3 inches on him, and he makes Julius Randle look small. I mean, he just overpowers Julius Randle on that move, and he makes it a quick move. It's a quick drop step and explodes, and he's right into your body, and then he's right jumping over your body. And it's just tough to keep up with him.
Look at that. Like
Darren Mitchell Robinson jumps, but he jumps around and through and over. It just doesn't matter.
And the finesse, that combination is so rare, and he has.
Look at these guys. 50 points combined, good shooting. I mean, that's why they won. The Knicks stars didn't play well, and the Pelicans stars did.
All right, Rangers pregame, getting you ready for the game at Vancouver on MSG2. And again, the Rangers-Canucks game comes your way at 10 o'clock right here on MSG. Let's now join Monica McNutt in New Orleans. Monica, hopefully the post-game meal is a lot better than the game was tonight.
Pidto, can I just say, and Pidto, I want to talk to you, not Wally, not Hahn. I'm now so close that I feel you on the roller coaster, Pidto. If we're going up, we're going up, we're going down.
Oh, no.
It feels very personal.
Got within 6, right, Monica? Got within 6.
You got within 6. You obviously were shooting the basketball in the first half from 3 in particular. The worst I think we've seen this team shoot from 3. Like, there's a chance, there's a chance. And then I just heard you guys talking about it. Zion Williamson, y'all. I know we are a Knicks broadcast, but for NBA fans and Pelicans fans in general, That man is a problem.
First off, Monica, make sure you get the corn mock chew at dinner tonight. All right, it is absolutely delicious.
Now I'm getting hungry.
No, it's
both you guys
at
talking about
Giacomo's.
food
It's
now.
really good stuff.
Okay.
Really good stuff.
Got it.
But you know, as far as the game goes, what do you think is going on with Jalen Brunson? He just doesn't seem to have that pep, that quickness. It feels like he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders. What do you think's going on with Jalen?
All right, I know you asked me the question, Wally, but can I spin it back to you? Is
Sure.
there a such thing as working off just kind of the offseason still? I mean, Jalen had a really big offseason with Team USA. Obviously, he got married. Like, we're only 3 games in, and he has not looked like himself. I agree with you. Is he just getting himself into rhythm? Is that, I mean, that's the best I've got.
You're next.
That's you the question.
Oh, you're asking me the question. I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm asking you.
I guess. I mean, listen. You know, when you play on Team USA, normally you have a head start, kind of like R.J. Barrett. You know, R.J. Barrett looks ready to go. You're playing in the summer. You're in shape. You're playing competitive games. Normally, you can't sustain it, I would think, for the rest of the season. But there just seems like I think he'll get it eventually. But it just seems like he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's feeling that pressure right now, and he's got to figure out a way to kind of get through that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I also think as much as he could have been a surprise, air quotes around surprise last year, he's the first guy on scouting reports now. Like, pick your poison, flip the coin. It's either him or it's Julius Randle. And so he is garnering probably a different level of attention. But we all know how diligent Jalen is, how hard he works, how much, not just on his game, but also understanding the leadership aspect of his role for this team. So we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it.
Hey, Monica, I was talking about it at the very top. It's something that this wasn't part of what the Knicks were last season, is turning the ball over. They were very good, one of the best in the league at making sure they took care of the basketball. And these last 2 games now, not just tonight, but also obviously in Atlanta, they survived it in Atlanta. But this is back-to-back games now. You go from 16 turnovers now to 19 turnovers. Julius having 8 of them. It just feels like something's going on with the offense that we thought this continuity thing would kick in this season, right? But it does still feel like they're figuring things out, doesn't it?
So this one I do have an answer for, Hahn, and it was a statement that I believe Quinn Snyder made talking about Jalen Brunson and what makes him special. He used the phrase, he plays with his feet on the ground, right? If you go back to the first half of the Celtics game, this team was not playing with their feet on the ground as a collective. Tonight, they did not play with their feet on the ground as a collective. Now, we can parse that, right? Because I actually was going through the box score, and right, you go down this line, Brandon Ingram, 6'10", 6'11", whatever it is, Zion Williamson, 6'6", Jonas Valanciunas, 7-footer, Herb Jones, 6'7", C.J. McCollum, 6'5", and quick and shifty. So early, it has seemed to me that teams that can present that length are posing some problems for this Knicks squad so far. Now, but the counterpoint, though, guys, Atlanta had length, and they were able to move the ball tremendously and find quality opportunities. So they've got to be a little bit more deliberate when they battle some of these teams with length, because frankly, we go Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, and then the height takes a deep dive.
All right, Monica, great to have you on as always, and we'll see you soon.
All right, guys.
You know, one thing that helped against Atlanta's size last night was a 3-point shooting. And the Knicks tonight go 7 for 37 when they had gone 18 for 45 combined in the first 2 games. So that was a big story. R.J. Barrett, Wally, again, efficient. As he was last night, 7 for 16 to get his 18 points.
Yeah, you know, he just looks engaged in the game. He makes key plays. You know, when the Knicks were making their run, he was making a few plays to kind of get him back into the game, and that's a great sign. You know, R.J. Barrett is a 20-point-per-game scorer pretty much every single night. You know, struggled a little bit from outside the 3-point shot, 1 for 6, but you know the threes are going to come and go with R.J. If he continues to do this, attack the basket, you know, make his, you know, slash to the basket and make things happen. He's 3 for 4 from the free throw line. It's pretty good. He's continuing to shoot those free throws at a high clip. That's a great sign. And it's just something about his body language. It looks like he is engaged in the game. It looks like he's enjoying the game. He's having fun playing the game of basketball at the NBA level. Whereas some of the Knicks right now, I just think they're trying to find their way. I think they're trying to find their joy. I think they're trying to, I just think they look like they're pressing. They're playing with a little bit of pressure, you know, on their shoulders and on their heads. And, you know, they have to look at R.J. Barrett and be like, you know, let's go. Let's start playing our game. Let's start getting this thing going. It's early on in the season. No time to panic. It's only 3 games in. It's been a tough schedule, yes. But if you want to be an elite team in the East, you gotta put this in the rearview mirror. This start to the season at 1-2 and the way they've looked in these games.
Yeah, that's the mental part of it. But you know, a lot of NFL players use a phrase called physical confidence. You know, when you feel good, you feel strong. That's, I think, the best way to describe R.J. Barrett, is it not? Like, he right now has physical confidence. He's got his base under him. His legs are strong. He had a very good World Cup when he came out of the FIBAs. He felt really good. And I just think he's got that into this season. Jalen Brunson also played in FIBA in the World Cup as well, but he doesn't look like he's got the same physical confidence, right? Like, it looks like, as Monica pointed out, that he might be just chasing it a little bit right now. So it is something to watch here early in the season.
I think I totally butchered the three-point stats, as is my norm. 38 for 85 for the first two games.
Yes.
7 for 37 tonight. I don't know what I said before.
7 for 37?
Yeah.
That was tonight.
The point is how well they shot in the first two games.
What about free throws? How are free throws?
We're moving right along.